Hello everybody, my name is Lena and welcome to another video. So I've been thinking about this for a while and I really think that it's time for me to show you some of my favorite self-published. I only know like a couple of really kind of big booktubers that actually have self-published books in their TBRs, like usually not like one time a year. I usually have like at least one self-published book on my monthly TBR. I sometimes have 2 or 3, but yeah, I still have tons of love for traditionally published books. I mean, new releases and all that stuff. But yeah, I try to have at least one and to buy at least 2 or 3 books a month because, you know, support self-published authors. But yeah, I have here like 10 of my favorite self-published that I want to share with you. So let's begin. Have I just made this video just to show you this book and the next book? Probably yes, but I can stop talking about them. But yeah, this is Sufficiently Advanced Magic by Andrew Rowe. I have talked about this book many times already. It is the book that gave this channel the name, and it's my favorite series of probably all time. I'm so glad that I discovered this. This has a little bit of buzz around it because it was the winner for the Mark Lawrence self-published contest, the SPFBO. This one is fantastic. I mean, can I say anything wrong about it? No. Actually, I just recorded a review for this. It should go up probably next month. In this book, we follow Corinne and he's on his judgment day, meaning that he has to go to this spire that was put there by their goddess and kind of just face death for a bit, so he can just win a atonement that will grant him magical powers. And he's been obsessed with taking his judgment because his brother disappeared on the day of his judgment, and he's kind of obsessed with finding him. This is so good. I'm doing this just for this book and the next book. Yeah. Are you just like super tired of hearing me talk about this book? Probably, but I can shut up about it. This is The Sword of Kaigen by Emma Wan, and what can I say? This book is so precious. It's quite on the thick side because it has 620 pages almost, and man, but this story has everything. This is a prequel to the other series that his author has, and my God, I cry with this book like no other. I just celebrate because of happiness like no other, and my goodness, it is good. It's so good. I will highly recommend this book to everyone. I will say that it's quite dark at times, but still, this is so good. In The Sword of Kaigen, we are going to follow 2 different perspectives. One of them is Misaki and one of them is Mamoru. They are mother and son, and we soon discover that in this traditional village, not everything is as it seems, and we have tons of magic because in The Sword of Kaigen, which is actually a place in this empire, we have these superpowers that are unique to each family in this place. The super cool magic that the Matsudas had, which are the protagonists of this book, it's called the Whispering Blade. They can make a blade out of thin ice that can cut through everything, and it's just so cool. Read The Sword of Kaigen. Then I don't have this book physically, but I own it on my Kindle, and this is London, and it's book 1 on the Surviving the Evacuation series by Frank Tayel. Tayel? I don't know how to say it properly, but this is a zombie book that is actually quite interesting. I will say that it kind of reminds me of actually my favorite zombie series, which is the Spanish one. But yeah, this is really cool. Although I have to say that it's probably going to be pretty slow for some people. I don't really mind books that are slow. I don't mind not having dialogue, but this book is a diary. So in a great portion of this book, our protagonist is alone. So there are no exchanges with other people. So he's just telling us that he is really sad because he's been left behind on the evacuation. That's the only thing that I will say that might not be for everyone. But on the other side, I really enjoyed the main character. He's quite likable. And I don't know, I felt really sorry for him sometimes. And he's not actually fucking stupid, which is like a really great plus. In London, we follow Bill, and he is actually not involved, but he has contacts on the government, and he's been following this kind of pandemic that is going around. Yeah, timing, I know. And he's kind of turning people into zombies. He doesn't know that yet. One day he breaks his leg, and when the evacuation is happening, he's not able to leave his house, and he's waiting for this car to go and pick him up. But the car kind of arrives and the chauffeur dies. So yeah, we are going through there, and it's really cool. I really like some elements. I think this guy does what probably I would do if I can zombie apocalypse. Now let's talk about another super great self-published. This is Wolfgang by F.D. Cross. And I would say that my favorite book is the second one. Inquisition is such a step up from the first one. The first one is a really short book, just like 150 something pages. And man, in the second one, we explore the world, we discover some things about Wolfgang, who is the protagonist of this book, and it makes him more human and more of a approachable character, because in the first one, you're going to just sit there and enjoy the ride while he kills tons of vampires, and that's it. But the second one is a really well-crafted book, and I'm so excited for the third one. Oh my god, it's so good. But yeah, you've heard me talk about this book for a bit, and in Wolfgang, we are going to follow our super vampire hunter, Wolfgang. His wife has just been murdered and his son was kidnapped, so he decided to go and find him. And we have this gothic setting and this kind of ancient vampires, and it's just super cool. I keep comparing it to Castlevania because it feels so similar. Then we have Uncanny Collateral by Brian McLennan. I read this one last month and it was so good. This is actually a urban fantasy, and I don't know, but I just really liked it. It was a really short read also. I mean, it was just like under 200 pages, and the audiobook is so good. Between the Powder trilogy and this one, I'm going to read everything Brian McLennan actually published. But yeah, he's a traditionally published author, but he actually self-published this series, the Valkyrie collection? Yeah, the Valkyrie collection. Stop smelling the mic. What are you doing? And it's really good. If you're into kind of light urban fantasy, I think that this one is going to be super great. We have like death, just coming around. Is so cool. In this book, we follow Alec. He's a reaper and he works for this agency called Valkyrie. And he's basically kind of a bounty hunter for saying something bad for the magical world. And it's super cool. Alec is actually half supernatural himself, and he has this ring with a magical genie on it, and it's so cool. Their relationship is so great. But yeah, you should definitely check this one out. This is They Mostly Come Out at Night by Benedict Patrick. And this is book 1 in the Jan's World series, which are all standalone. So if you're interested, you can start in whichever book you want. This is a super short series of novels. They are so amazing because they have this kind of dark fairy tale vibe. I don't know if I'm kind of explaining it correctly, but yeah, they feel like fairy tales, like the Grimm ones. This one especially is the one that caught my attention the most, but I'm really excited to read the third one, actually, which is in a city that has kind of this, not tournament, but these duels with swords and for that sort of thing. I will highly recommend this one. It's just, like I said, super short. The story is super interesting and the ambience is done magnificent. In this one, we follow 2 different points of view. We're going to follow in the first place Lena, and he is living in this kind of lost village in this forest, and he's also being treated as an outcast because one time he kind of brought the monsters to his village and they kind of slaughtered a couple of people. The cool thing about it is that every time that he goes to sleep, he is going to telepathically connect with this prince called Adahi, and he's going to discover all the story behind these monsters in this forest, and it's just so cool. Then we have Devil's Night Dawning by Damien Black. These books are actually super thick, so beware, because the third one is actually divided into 2 parts. I have yet to read it because I haven't found the time yet, but I'm planning on reading it soon. This book is just so dark and so weird, but I love it. We follow a kind of order of monks who just fights evil, and they are fighting these evil warlocks and sorcerers, and we have a magical forest with a super cool witch living on it. Oh my god, it's so cool. And we also have a really interesting main characters, mainly the two monks. I don't remember the name of the older one, but our main protagonist, to say it something, is actually called Adelko, and he's so cool. I don't know, I really like him. But yeah, he's a child and he's been training to become this super cool monk, and they are both going these weird adventures trying to find this super dark evil warlock. And I don't know, man, there's something so cool about it. I really enjoy the world. I would say that in the first one is pretty contained, but then it just it's everything. You have the whole continent, and there are wars, and there are really weird alliances. But oh my god, this book is so cool. I can't wait to read the third one. Oh, I have this book here. Then I have here Never Die by Rob J. Hayes. This is currently my favorite book by this author, and oh my god, this was super good. I will say that it's a kind of same situation with The Shadow of the Fox. Well, you're going to just have this book being anime in written form, and it's just so cool. I mean, we are going to follow a kid that is basically resurrecting these super warriors. They are gathering to form this band and actually defeat the emperor. And it's just so cool. I love, even though it's not actually that long, it's filled with action, with non-stop action. And we have so many cool elements to it. And I mean, if you like Asian-inspired fantasy, you should definitely check out this one. Because we even have shinigamis here. And it's just so good and so well done. I mean, give this book a chance because, oh my goodness. And I'm also super excited to read the new book by Rob J. Hayes. What's it called? Razor's Edge? Something similar. And yeah, I'm super excited. Then we have Dawn of Wonder. I would say that this one relies more on a military fantasy than a kind of classic fantasy. We don't have tons of magic in this book. We are more of in a setting where we follow our main protagonist going to this academy to actually become a soldier. And this is so well crafted. But if you read this, you're going to be pretty disappointed because the author, which name I didn't say, Jonathan Renshaw, is actually quite a slow author, and I get it because this book is so long and so filled with stuff and so detailed that I understand it's going to take him a while to do it. But this book was published, I think, 5 years ago, actually. And he has this blog. Well, he keeps updating what's going on with the book, so you know that he is actually writing it, but it's taking him a while. But either way, it's such super cool. You like this kind of cool setting in your fantasy, and we have this trope that I love, which is a terrifying kind of forbidden city. Cats, can you stop, please? And it's just like one of my favorite tropes, so I enjoyed this book so much. The last book that I wanted to talk about is not this one, but the first one, Chasing Graves by Ben Gali. This book took me by surprise. Oh my goodness. It has a plot twist at the end. And I was just listening to the audiobook in my car, and I was just like, no, doing some weird faces that people were just like, what the fuck is wrong with her? But oh my goodness, this is so cool. In this one, we are set in this city called Araxis. I don't exactly know how to pronounce it, but in this city, we basically can kill people, put them in these waters, and they will be resurrected, and they will be basically slaves. So one of the greatest markets is actually killing just random people arrives and making them slaves. And oh my god, we actually follow two different characters. One has been recently turned into this kind of corpse, and another character that we don't know nothing about, who is actually trying to capture this new corpse and bring it to the city. And we don't really know much, and I won't tell you much because the reveal of who the character is fucking amazing. But yeah, this is so good. Actually, I think that the first one is one of the SPFBOs, is participating of the on the SPFBOs this year. Maybe? Could it be? I'm not exactly sure. I remember talking with Kitty about this book, but I don't remember if it was because of that, because something else. But yeah, this is so good. I highly recommend this one. But yeah, those were my favorite self-published books. I have two recommendations for you that I haven't read, but I've been really eager to do it. One is Free the Darkness, which actually only exists in audiobook and ebook form, which makes me super sad because it seems fucking amazing. You follow a band of assassins. And the other one, Aching God by Mike Shelp. I've been following this book for a bit now, and you basically follow this past kind of hero, and I think his daughter goes missing and he's back on this kind of dark world trying to find her. Those were all the recommendations that I have to make it today. So I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.